Miss Hill,
Or
yes.
Miss Hill. Yep, you were walking. It was kind of dark. I was like, I don't know. It looks okay. So
Hi.
Miss Hill, all right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Ashley Jean Hill, file number 24-21702FH. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of Miss Hill, and I have Alexander Bayanetto appearing on behalf of the people. This is a date and time set for a pretrial conference in this matter. Mr. Malaro, how would you like to proceed?
Judge, Ms. Hill sent me some information. Would like to discuss it with the prosecutor before we get this matter resolved. And so I'd ask to adjourn it, a very short adjournment, if we could do that.
All right.
I mean, a week would be fine.
Oh, I don't have a pretrial available in a week. I have 21 scheduled next week, so my next available is September 11th.
That's fine, Judge.
All right, so Ms. Hill, I'm going to set this over for another pretrial on September 11th at 8:30 in the morning. And Mr. Yes, ma'am. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say something, Ms. Hill?
I just said thank you.
Oh, okay. So September 11th at 8:30 in the morning, write that down, same number. And then Mr. Malaro, you do the step in order to adjourn.
Yes, Your Honor, and I think it'll get resolved by that date.
Okay, excellent. So Mr. Malaro, if you are able to reach a resolution with your client, would like to get her in sooner, just let us know and we'll fit her in somewhere.
Understood, Judge.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Hill. You're all set.
All right, thank you.
This Motorola is Brian Fry. Mr. Fry, I do have the interpreter on Gustavo Cabrera. He's not in the courtroom. I thought he left the country, but I could be wrong on that one. And I do have the AG now, so it's just a moment. All right, I have somebody who's logged in on a Motorola device. I'm going to send you a request to unmute your device, please. All right, can I ask your name, please?
LaShawn Perkins.
All right, thank you, Mr. Perkins. So, Mr. Fry, it looks like you might have your client with you. So, and Mr. Perkins, you are represented by Ron Underwood.
Oh, Mr. Malaro.
Oh, is that yours, Mr. Malaro?
It is, Judge.
Okay, hold on. I thought it was Ron Underwood. I apologize. So, Mr. Perkins, I'm just going to change your screen name to reflect your name. And then I have, okay, so let me mark this down, Sam Malaro. I've got the file and you're on this one as well, Mr. Hartog.
Yes, Your Honor.
So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus LaShawn Perkins, file number 24-21758FH. I have Douglas Hartog appearing on behalf of the people, and I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of Mr. Perkins. I do have a letter from Darren Close, my pretrial services coordinator, stating dated August 5, stating that Mr. Perkins continues to drug test for us in Battle Creek. He has been consistently negative for all substances, and he has done a good job in compliant with his bond conditions. So, Mr. Malaro and Mr. Hartung, how do you wish to proceed today? Mr. Malaro, we had audio, now we don't. I don't know. Tap that microphone. I don't know.
Can you hear me now, Judge?
Yeah, we can.
All right. Judge, I'm going to ask for an additional adjournment. Mr. Perkins and I have been playing phone tag in an effort to coordinate with Mr. Hartung a resolution. And since he's doing well on the drug screens, I'd ask to adjourn this one more time.
Mr. Hartung, any objection?
No objection.
All right, I'm gonna adjourn this to September 18th at 8:30 in the morning. So Mr. Perkins, write that down, September 18th at 8:30, same Zoom number as today. And Mr. Mallow, you do the step in order to adjourn.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right,
You
All
said
right,
September
thank
the 18th?
September 18th. Thank you.
What time?
8:30 in the morning.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Judge.
you. Mr. Mallow, I also have, okay, so Mr. Johnson, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Malaro, I have Mr. Gant and I have Mr. Johnson. So Mr. Gant is in my waiting room, so we'll start with Mr. Johnson.
I could leave
This
now?
is, oh yeah, you can leave, Mr. Perkins. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. All right, so in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Troy Tabell Johnson, file number 23-21597FH. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of the people, and I have Alexander Bayonet. No, I don't. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of the defendant, and I have Alexander Bayonetto appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for pretrial in this matter. Mr. Johnson is joining us from the jail. So Mr. Malaro, how would you like to proceed today? Mr. Malaro, I think if you get too far away from your mic, it's not picking up.
I don't know where the mic is.
The microphone, I don't know, but I can hear you now. So it sounds
All
like
right.
you're just too far back. I can't hear you.
All right. We'll work through this, I guess, Judge. I'm pretty sure I received an email regarding Mr. Johnson being approved for drug court, Your Honor. I think this is Mr. Sneed's case. I've reached out to him to see what his position is. As before that, his position was not very amenable to that kind of resolution. So I'm not exactly sure how to proceed. I don't know if Mr. Bayonetto is aware of this and has received any type of direction from Mr. Sneed. So I guess I'm going to have to defer to the prosecutor about this.
The plea offer was made and it doesn't state anything about recovery court. We do not require prosecutors' consent to admit someone to recovery court. Is that correct, Mr. Fry?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Oh, all right. Even better. Well, then Mr. Johnson's been approved for recovery court, Your Honor, and we'd ask to proceed along those lines.
Okay. Ms. Walsh, are you, is Ms. Teskey here today?
No, she's not back until Monday.
Okay. So you received, how did you receive notice? I don't have anything in the file, so I just want to make sure.
I thought it was an email. Let me see if I can find it.
Let me call Teresa real quick because I don't want to do anything without permission. Oh, there's Mr. Noe. She's not answering either.
Teresa Ripley, record your name.
Oh, what's that other lady's name?
Hi, this is Stacy.
Hi, Stacy. This is Judge Anselon. I just wanted to verify Troy Tabell Johnson was approved for drug court.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, Mr. Malaro. So yes, so we verified that. My understanding is the plea offer is plead to a possession with one supplement and there would not be charges on absconding.
Yes, it would be as charged with the controlled substance, sup, no habitual fourth sup, and no absconding to be charged. Those are the notes I have from Mr. Sneed.
Okay, so it doesn't have any notes that say poses recovery court or anything of that nature?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so that would be the possession of methamphetamine with a second offense, meaning the maximum penalty could be up to 20 years in prison and or a $30,000 fine. Is that correct?
Was that directed to me, Your Honor? I apologize.
Mr. Malaro or Mr. Bayonetto?
I believe that is correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Malaro, we're not getting audio. I swear we have the worst luck, don't we? All right. Mr. Malaro, kind of lean forward a little bit. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason I get audio if you're closer. All right. So Mr. Johnson, you want to raise your right hand for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, and Miss Adams, I do have in the file that we don't have a TCN number on Mr. Johnson, but he's in the jail. So I'm hoping we can make sure to remedy that. Mr. Johnson, you can put your hand down, please. All right,
Okay,
so
ma'am.
Mr. Johnson, you've heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney. Is it your intention to plead guilty to count 1, controlled substance, possession of methamphetamine, which is a 10-year felony, but with a second offense notice, which is a 20-year felony, with the understanding that the absconding that you could be charged with will not be charged, and that you will enter, and then you've been pre-approved for recovery court, so you would have to enter and complete that. So is that the plea offer as you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and do you want to be a part of the recovery court?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. All right, and you understand the maximum penalty if you were to violate later on could be up to 20 years in prison. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, are you satisfied with Mr. Malaro as your attorney and the advice that he's given you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, neither the prosecutor, the defendant, nor anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed a possible sentence with the court. Is that correct, Mr. Malaro?
That's correct, Judge.
And Mr. Ganetto?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, and as far as you're aware, Mr. Johnson, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Johnson, if a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have a right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial, not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, ma'am.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Mr. Johnson, do you have any questions about the rights that I've just given to you?
No, ma'am.
So, Mr. Johnson, how do you plead to the charge that, hold on, let me grab the right file, that on or about August 19th of 2023, in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee, that you did commit the offense of controlled substance possession of methamphetamine? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, ma'am.
Okay, and do you acknowledge that you have a prior conviction of controlled substance use of cocaine back on January 4 of 2006? Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to this charge?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Mr. Malaro? No audio.
No.
Okay, I am so sorry, Mr. Mallow. Mr. Bandetto?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Um. Okay, has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimate what your sentence will be other than what was discussed on the record?
No, ma'am.
All right. Is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Jensen, back on August 19th of 2023, were you in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and at that time, did you have in your possession methamphetamine?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you know it was methamphetamine?
No, ma'am.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was cocaine.
You thought it was cocaine, and then when it got tested, but you intended to possess that controlled substance, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then later on, you found out it was methamphetamine.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I could have died.
You could have died. Yeah, you could have.
Yeah. So
All right. So, all right, and then back on January 4 of 2006, you were convicted of use of cocaine, correct?
yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied, Mr. Bandetto?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Mr. Malaro?
Yes, I believe the court has.
All right, Mr. Bandetto?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so I am going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation report. Ms. Teskey usually will do them because you're going into the recovery court. My next available day for sentencing is September 20 at 8:15 in the morning. When you meet with the probation department, be truthful with them about your background and the events that occurred. They'll prepare a pre-sentence report. Mr. Malaro will review that with you before sentencing. And then on that day, if you need to talk to him, I'll always allow that. Mr. Malaro, anything else?
Not at this time, Judge.
All right. So Mr. Jensen, they'll put a plan in place. The recovery court program is amazing. The work that they do is just amazing. I've seen people that I've known for 20 years be able to come out at the other end of addiction, and it's wonderful. So we'll see you back on that day. All right, Mr. Jensen?
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Oh, and I'm going to just set the contempt over to sentencing and then probably I'll dismiss it at the time of sentencing. Actually, I'll just dismiss the contempt now. And do you want to appear via Zoom or in person, Mr. Jensen?
In person.
Okay, I'll mark down in person. All right, there we go. All right, so Mr. Jensen, thank you. You have a good day.
So I won't be released today, or?
No, we haven't addressed that, Mr. Malaro.
Mr. Johnson, I know what you're thinking. We'll deal with that at the sentencing, okay?
Okay.
Mr. Jensen, one of two things will happen at sentencing. You're going to either be placed in outpatient treatment or inpatient, one of the two. And that Ms. Teskey will make that determination, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
September 20th.
Yes, sir, September 20th at 8:15.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let me get Mr. Gant done and then we'll close the courtroom for the juvenile. Is that all right? Okay, I have Mr. Fry too, so hold on, Mr. Fry was here first. Mr. Fry, you have your client with you, correct? And that's, oh, you got Mr. Cabrera. Okay, so hold on. I got an interpreter, so I'm going to take that one next. Mr. Bobble?
Yes.
All right, so hold on one second. Let me get that phone. All right, So I'm gonna swear, is it Bapel or Bapel? How do you pronounce your last name, sir?
Bapel is fine.
Okay, so Mr. Bapel, his name is Frank Bapel. He's the interpreter. Do you want to raise your right hand for me, Mr. Bapel? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will truly, accurately, and impartially interpret in the matter now before the court and not divulge confidential communications?
I do.
Okay, so, my prosecutor,
That's
is
me,
Mr.
Judge.
Hartung.
Nope, it's me, Judge.
Oh, yeah, it's Sarah Brenner. So I'm gonna call the case. Remember, we have to pause so that we can have the interpreter. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Gustavo Cabrera.
Este es en el asunto de la gente de Michigan contra Gustavo Cabrera.
File number 2019-19451FH.
Número de acta 2019-19451FH.
I have Sarah Brenner appearing as Assistant Attorney General.
Señora Sara Brenner es representando la fiscalía.
Brian Fry appearing on behalf of Mr. Cabrera.
Brian Fry representando al señor Cabrera.
This is the date and time set for a pretrial in this matter.
Hoy es la cita para una conferencia en este juicio, en este asunto.
I also have a contempt of court filed by Miss Brenner. Is that still outstanding? Or, okay, so hold on.
No, Your Honor.
That's been addressed?
It was addressed last time we were here.
Okay, all right, never mind.
También tenía una falta de respeto al tribunal, pero esto ya se solucionó.
What happened with the contempt of court last time, Miss Brenner?
And Your Honor, I'm sorry, go ahead.
¿Qué pasó con la falta de respeto del tribunal la vez pasada, señora Brenner?
On May 1st of 2024, he was arraigned on the bench warrant.
El 1 de mayo de 2024, él tenía su lectura de la acusación formal para la orden de su arresto.
And he was given a PR bond. And we set the matter for final pretrial and trial.
Y le dimos una fianza de reconocimiento personal y le dimos la cita para una conferencia en este juicio.
Okay. And,
I'm sorry, Judge, you had told him to file for disability at that time.
Disculpe, señora, usted le dijo que solicitaba la discapacidad en aquel entonces.
Mr. Fry, has your client done so?
Yes, he is receiving Social Security disability now, Your Honor.
Señor Fry, su cliente ha hecho esto. Sí, señora, él está recibiendo la discapacidad del Seguro Social.
And Your Honor, they have adjusted his child support order pursuant to that disability.
Y señora, han ajustado su orden para pagar apoyo de menores de acuerdo con lo que gana el Seguro Social.
He is making payments, but still falling a bit shy of his full order.
Él está haciendo pagos, pero todavía está un poquito menos de lo que debería.
But based on that award of disability,
pero basado en que le aprobaron la discapacidad,
I would offer that he could plead to an attempt with no upfront jail.
Yo estaría dispuesto a dejar que se declare culpable para tratar de hacerlo sin que tenga que ir a la cárcel.
All right, Mr. Fry?
Señor Fry?
I'll need more time to discuss that with my client, Your Honor.
Yo necesito más tiempo de hablar esto con mi cliente, señora.
Would you like an opportunity for a breakout room with the interpreter since I have an interpreter here?
¿Quiere tener la oportunidad de hablar con el intérprete en una sala aparte?
In your response, Mr. Fry?
Yes, Your Honor. That would be helpful.
Okay.
Sí, señora.
All right, so I'm going to open up a breakout room and I'm going to place Mr. Fry and Mr. Bobble along with Mr. Cabrera into that breakout room. And you can join.
Vamos a una sala aparte.
And then I will go back. Mr. Gant, can you start your audio and your video, please? All right. Yes, I can hear you. Mr. Malaro?
Can you hear me, Judge?
Yeah, I can. I think that IT can adjust microphone range. So I'm sorry about this, Mr. Malaro. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Sherrod Rashawn Gant, file number 2024-21791FH. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of Mr. Gant. Mr. Gant has appeared via Zoom. And I have Alexander Bayonetto appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pretrial in this matter. Mr. Malaro, how would you like to proceed today?
Judge, Mr. Gant and I have also been playing phone tag to go over the plea agreement. If we could do a brief breakout, I could explain it to him, and then I think we'd be ready to put a plea on.
All right, so Mr. Malaro, Mr. Gant, I'm going to open up a breakout room and assign you and Mr. Malaro to that breakout room. So go ahead and click on join.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Mawad, I do have Mr. Noe. So it should just be a minute. Is there a Miss Lane on that file or no? No. Does it ring a bell? Okay. Right, I have Janiyah Lane who's zoomed in. Could you unmute your device and let me know what case you're here for?
I'm just here for Navier students.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, so we're going to be taking that one in a few minutes. And I am going to rename, oh, no, I'll remember. All right, so I'm gonna pop you back in you can hang out too, doesn't matter. So we'll be taking that case in just about 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Are you still on all the Vasquez files?
Yeah, Cat Roach.
Yes. Is it on Vasquez or?
It's on Vasquez, yeah. Jackie has to send the social service files.
Okay. Miss Adams, could you come in the courtroom, please?
She has open files, so I want to take them down. You don't mind if taking a big.
Oh, God, no.
I didn't think so.
So Mr. Noe said in this, what's Mr. Judge Noe has, Judge Noe. Judge
Put that email.
Olsaver has the oldest Vasquez file.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so on the people of the state of Michigan versus Juan Antonio Vasquez, 3 files, 2019-19463, 2019-19464, and 2019-19466 FH. Those files will be reassigned to Judge Olsaver.
No objection.
Oldest,
No objection.
oldest standing file I have, so thank you.
Okay, no objection whatsoever.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And then we'll be taking the juvenile case. I have 2 I'm working on it.
I need to talk to the voice.
Okay,
I need
good.
5 minutes or so.
All right.
Judge, do you know if the juvenile case for sure is going to go? I know Agent Holly is doing arrangements for Mr. Olsaver, so If you need her, we need to let her know.
Well, it'll go, but not right now.
Okay,
I've got like 2 cases that are brewing right now in breakout rooms, and then once I get Mr. Noe said he needs to go talk to his client, so.
Okay.
It might be a little bit, so. Mr. Hartung, the Sean P. Diddy case is at 2:30 today.
This is gonna be on.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Mawad, I think you have a chat. Oh, he's in another court. All right, so I've got Mr. Malaro back and Mr. Gant. Okay, so this is back on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Sherrod Gant. So, Mr. Malaro, have you talked to him? Mr.
Yeah.
Noe? Okay, so Mr. Malaro, you've had a chance to speak with your client. How would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, at this time, I believe we're going to, Mr. Gant's going to enter a plea to guilty to count 2, conspiracy to commit a unauthorized driving away motor vehicle. Count 4, receiving it or resisting obstructing a police officer. Count 5, receiving and stealing stolen property, $200 to $1,000. There will be a sentence agreement of a deferred 60-day jail sentence and HIDA probation. All remaining counts will be dismissed, restitution to be determined at a later date. I believe that is our plea agreement.